Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Be More podcast, where we inspire you to be a little bit more of every role within the Salesforce ecosystem and beyond. For today's episode, we are exploring what it means to be more Shirtforce, and I'm joined today by Will. So, if you could start by introducing yourself for our audience, please.
Thanks, Tom. Hi, yeah, my name's Will Turner. I'm one of the members of Team Shirtforce. My day job is I'm a Salesforce application manager at Arjo, a Swedish medical devices manufacturer. And within the Trailblazer community, I'm very proud to co-lead the London admins community. Said be part of Shirtforce, and yes, I like to get involved with a lot of the communities and support people where I can.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's great to have you on today, and especially as one of the newest recipients of the Golden Hoodie, right?
Yes, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly, but yes, I'm very flattered and humbled to be recognised by Salesforce for the contributions I've made to the Salesforce community over the last nine or 10 years. Um, yeah, but I still have a bit of imposter syndrome now, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, truly deserved, and something I've learned over time. Like, I feel like we all have a little bit of this imposter syndrome. I think it just varies in different levels as we're going through different things. So anyway, today's focus is Shirtforce. So if
Yeah.
you could start by explaining or describing like what Shirtforce is for us.
Sure, be delighted to. Shirtforce is a non-profit charity that was started back in sort of 2017 by London developer user group leader Todd Halfpenny, uh, who is also Golden Hoodie and MVP, and a real strong, prominent member of the global Trailblazer community. Um, yeah, Todd decided one day to make a parody of Salesforce's forward-looking statements, and printed it onto a T-shirt for a bit of fun, and started to wear that to sort of Salesforce community events and things. And yeah, instantly a lot of people started to engage with him, asking, where they can get hold of one, can they buy them, etc. And the idea really sprawled from there. And Todd, being the absolute gentleman that he is, wasn't about to sort of take advantage of this opportunity for the benefit of his own pocket. He wanted to find ways, use this as an opportunity to give back. Um, and so this sprawled into an idea where we created a website and asked people to sort of submit ideas for designs, and it just sort of snowballed from there. Um, yeah, so a few years ago, as being one of Shirtforce's fans, um, as I sort of started to accumulate quite a few designs myself, that Todd, very generously asked if I'd like to come on board and help grow the Shirtforce brand. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We're now going through like a maturation stage where we've recently sort of upgraded our website. We've been increasing our supplier base so we can reach more parts of the global community. We have done collaborations even with Salesforce themselves and a number of other sort of Salesforce partners. And the 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 proceeds originally, we would ask the community to vote for a non-profit within the Salesforce community to donate our profits to. But last year we had a change of heart. So I came up with the idea that because we want to be a lot, purely a community focused initiative, um, that we realised there's a little bit of a gap in the community where there's a group of people, a sort of a section of the community may find it quite hard to take, not just take time off to come to Salesforce events, but really in order to be able to get there. Um, so we came up with the concept of the Shirtforce sponsorship program, which donates grants to those working in sort of non-profits or those unemployed, um, and helps those people get to their first paid for Salesforce conference. Typically, that will be a Salesforce community conference, with the advantage of going to these fantastic community conferences. It's not just a chance to learn and grow your skills, but also to build your own support network within the community, because that will give you a foundation from which your career will hopefully continue to develop and indeed flourish. So, um, yeah, that's the idea. It's the idea behind that, and yes, it's proving very popular. And we're working with more and more community conferences to spread our message and our program around.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's great. I do have a small little favor though. If you're able to pop yourself on mute while I'm speaking, because I think some folks on the line are getting a bit of a echo. Yeah, I think that's gone now. Okay, awesome. So, talk to me about perhaps some of the events that you've helped people attend, like to date, because I know this is something that you kind of switched into recently, and you're kind of, I guess, just getting on your feet with that. But to get an idea of what types of events are covered by this, do you have any examples for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first community conference that we sponsored last year, we helped 3 people attend London's Calling, which, as we know, is certainly around the UK community, absolutely fantastic event, and one of the largest and most prominent Salesforce community conferences globally. Um, we then followed that up later that year by helping some people attend French Touch Dreaming in Paris, um, and we're looking to expand. We're looking to expand the number of conferences we help, and so far this year we've helped people attend Czech Dreaming. And we are also now in touch with some of the organisers of US conferences to see if we can help people attend. I believe it's Midwest Dreaming. We're looking to support people this year.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's great, and ultimately, it definitely screams community. You know, the Salesforce community helping others within the community attend events that otherwise perhaps they couldn't afford to attend. So that's great, and I can certainly speak to the value of some of those conferences as well. London's Calling is probably my favorite one that you mentioned. You know, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I'm sat here in London, and you're sat kind of a little bit outside of London, but in the same general area. I think it's a great community-led event and is super valuable. No marketing fluff, just ultimately the content I need to be able to succeed. So it's great that Shirtforce is helping others attend such events and conferences as well. So thinking about this, and we've already mentioned a little bit the ways that people can get involved with Shirtforce. But do you have any particular like designs or other things that you would maybe be able to show us to just give us a better idea for those that are watching on video, what sort of teas are available and perhaps what different cuts and sizes are available as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole concept of Shirtforce is to, when it comes to our designs, is trying to make parody, trying to make trying to capture a lot of the moments that we kind of that um, we as Salesforce professionals often come across, or we look at little plays on words for those for definitely within the Shirtforce team, there's a lot of puns and plays on words that we have. So as we like to just explore and not just have fun, but helps with our creativity. So in keeping with that, someone submitted this troublemaker rather than trailblazer design, which is by far and away our favourite and best-selling shirt. And so I've got a couple just to the right of me. I'll just bring round. Maybe Tom, you can let us know who designed this one for those who like to go with the flow.
Yeah, that was one of my designs. It was great to support and get involved, and also like massive thanks to the team that took my idea and polished it and made it fit for a t-shirt, because there was definitely some things that I hadn't thought about that have to go into a design. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so for those who perhaps remember a particular 80s TV show, you'll be familiar with the A-Team. And if anyone watched TDX, you'll know that was the T-shirt I actually wore um, uh, that event. Yes, continuing the AI theme. We have many, um, and just in case your users don't understand who's in charge, just make sure you let them know. Um, yeah, I have a call with I have a call with my team of delegated admins every month, and yes, on my first call, I wore this T-shirt just so there was for the avoidance of doubts. They knew. Oh, mm, mm, but yes, that's just a handful. There are over 120 designs available on our website at shirtforce.org. Um, and for those who want to check them out, please go there and take a look.
Okay, yeah, so we do have a quick question. Could you elaborate a little bit further on how you come up with the designs?
Absolutely. There's a number of ways we come up. Often people sort of mention some ideas that they have, so the concept of some briefs that some design, sorry, concept of some design briefs that there's just something that's played on their mind, and sometimes they just share that with us. And that but we also have a Slack workspace where we invite those who consistently sort of come up with some ideas and want to get a bit more involved. We invite them into our Slack community, where we have dedicated channels for people to sort of share some design briefs. Often they sort of often people start with either a quick brief, or maybe they, if they're a bit more adventurous, they might use an AI design app, something like Canva, for example. And yeah, they try and refine and visualize their idea there, then submit it and see if we can then take it forward from there. But yeah, it's a whole load of fun. Yeah, some of the ideas are just crazy. Some of the ideas, though, we can't take forward. Unfortunately, we can't take anything forward that has a kind of reference that infringes on Salesforce's intellectual property, like the characters and characters and the blue cloud design. Uh, yeah, it's it's very fun to see how creative people are.
Awesome. Well, thinking about this now, um, what skills or attributes do you think it takes for somebody to become involved in Shirtforce?
Uh, well, I mean, there's a variety of ways. Obviously, if you want to get, if you really want to get involved with Shirtforce, obviously, I'd say, please look at our website, find a design you like, and you know, treat yourself to a t-shirt, or even better, treat a colleague to a t-shirt. That's always a nice way. We do encourage sort of team managers, or even one of the global consulting partners that we've established a relationship with. Um, you know, we encourage them to think of using Shirtforce as an incentive scheme. So, for example, to pass a particular certification, or the reward for delivering perhaps quite a complex and time-consuming project, um, or or maybe even, if people are thinking of doing like a team event or an away day, a team building kind of day, and they want to get some uh, a bunch of t-shirts printed, that's a great way to get involved. And at the same time, we're raising money to help other people in the community hopefully take that first step um, for their career. So
Mhm.
um,
Okay, awesome. So thinking about this now, like, is there a way, um, like, ultimately, how do you fit this into your day? You alluded to the fact that there's potentially like a team of people behind you, but what sort of responsibilities do you have in, I guess, the day to day running? Because you've got the site, you've also got the like logistics and the kind of operations part of it as well, and perhaps you're working with like different organizations for like custom designs and things like that. So how does that work, and ultimately, like, how do you fit all of this in alongside your day job?
well, obviously, we're not selling thousands and thousands of t-shirts a day to sustain an income. But to be honest, I wouldn't even take a penny out of the business for myself. Um, uh, you know, Wherever we find some free time, there's always a design to look at. There's always some social media activity that's needed, either posting some messages or responding to inquiries, or poking fun at each other. We do like to throw a pun at each other every now and again. Um, but yes, no, from more from I like to um, really sort of take the role of potentially, say, of a bit of the marketing role for Shirtforce. So yes, so I like to sort of get in touch with some of the larger corporates, and find out if there's if we can collaborate over doing some designs. We also like to partner with some of the Trailblazer community conferences, not just to help with the sponsorship schemes, if we can get new people to attend, but also if we can also potentially help them out with the t-shirts themselves as well. So um, there's never a dull moment, and no day is the same.
Awesome. Well, I certainly know you've got some characters on the team, and I'm certainly you keep everyone's spirits high as you're working together on a day to day basis. So, is there something that perhaps people think of when they think of Shirt Force, and there's perhaps like a misconception or a myth or something that you would like to clarify? Like, is there something like that that comes to mind that you'd like to just kind of put the record straight for the audience? Really, um, yeah.
That's an interesting question. I've not heard of I've not heard, unless I'm not doing a good job in on the marketing side and not tracking the socials. I've not heard of too many misconceptions. But no, we're always so focused on coming up with new designs, new brands, new products, and things. And maintaining obviously a positive relationship with not just our little designer community, but the wider Salesforce community. I don't think fingers crossed, we don't get any, we don't hear of any misconceptions, but yeah, no, we try and stay positive, keep it fun, and keep those donations coming, and so we can continue our sponsorships.
Okay. Ultimately, the kind of gist that I'm getting from this conversation is that it's a community led program, ultimately for the good of the community, and is a unofficial thing. Obviously, it's not affiliated with Salesforce or anything like that. Um, and the goal is to kind of use Shirtforce to spread good, and to help people attend those conferences. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're the four of us. So that's myself, Todd Halfpenny, Rob Cowell, and Chris Emmett. We've all had many years' experience within the Salesforce community, from coming from different coming from different angles, whether that's being more admin, more functional, more technical, more developer, or working with ISVs, or from consultancy backgrounds, or from the customer, from the customer, the end user perspective. We all bring different, perspectives, and the one thing we share, we have a common shared passion for the community, wanting to bring value to everyone. Just in the same way that that all the community leaders around the world, we don't bring anything different. We're just doing it in a different way. We like to have fun while we do it, and we like to think that we can make an impact for someone, and a positive impact for someone, and that's really rewarding.
Okay, awesome. Well, we do have a question, uh, and no prizes for guessing who this question is from.
Todd.
Yeah. Do you do anything other than t-shirts?
Yes. Well, absolutely. Obviously, we're famous for our t-shirts. However, if you look on our website, we are branching out. We have branched out into some other products. There are some mugs as well, mugs and baby onesies and things. But we are always looking to find the next sort of attractive product for the market. We had the pleasure last week at Agentforce World Tour London of launching our brand new plushie tees. So for everyone who owns a plushie, this is not one of them. This is obviously this is an official Salesforce product. I gave away all the freebies I had, so unfortunately I can't demo it live. I can't um, market it live here on your podcast, and Tom. But yes, for those who do have plushies, we've now come up with some plushie T-shirts. We started again with the troublemaker design to begin with, but yeah, who knows how far that will go. And we do look forward to exploring other potential products that we could do. So if you're listening to this podcast and you have something particular you'd like, I don't know, a laptop bag or mouse mats or things like that, please get in touch. Please let us know what would be attractive to you, because again, we are just trying to trying to give back to the community and find the best way to do that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I think that's great, and yeah, I can certainly attest to those little cute plushy tees. If you have kind of like a 4-inch Astro or a kind of little Appy, they are like the perfect size to fit those ones. If you were perhaps fortunate enough to get Agent Cody at TDX, it will be a little bit like a crop top for Cody, but Cody rocks a crop top quite well, so that is a thing too. I was just trying to grab my own one, and then I realized I've temporarily put everything away. So I completely forgot that it wasn't behind me anymore, and it was kind of carefully placed in the cupboard. So yeah, but I think that's great and shows innovation and ultimately evolving as the community naturally evolves as well. So thinking a little bit now, like on your own Shirtforce journey, you've been doing this for a while now. Is there anything that you would change or do differently if you had the opportunity to kind of start over? What do you think?
Well, I think my bank manager would rein me in and say, look, let's stop. I mean, I would obviously counter that argument by saying, well, every time I buy a Shirtforce tee, that's one less trip to Primark, so I satisfy my social conscience that way. Would I do anything different? Um, yes, I probably would embark with some, perhaps should have embarked on some desktop design training a little bit quicker. I mean, I don't lay claim to have actually created many of the designs. I leave those in the skilled hands of our faithful team, and particularly sort of Chris and Rob and Todd, who are just absolutely fantastic, do fantastic work with um, sort of Photoshop and things, as do a lot of the other a lot of the design community. Really want to reference people like Jose Oliveira, Thomas Toonan. They've really come up with some very innovative type designs, and pretty quickly. I'm just gobsmacked. I'd love to be able to clone those skills and just start, but um, I think my skill set lies elsewhere. Um, would I do anything differently? Um, I don't I don't think so. It's hard to know. It's hard to what have I learned from the benefit of hindsight. Um, yeah, probably if I could, maybe I'd have would have actually purchased maybe a t-shirt machine so I could actually make some samples at home, rather than always having to run to a local print shop or something. I do actually have in my very 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 early days I used to work in the printing industry, but um, so I have a little bit of experience and knowledge there, but no, I don't. In all honesty, there's nothing I would do differently. Maybe develop a better sense of humour, so I could come up with some more creative designs that might work. Um,
Yeah.
but,
All right.
mm.
Awesome. So thinking about this now as we kind of bring the session for today to a close, what's just to remind people how to get involved and where to go to find more information. So is everything on shirtforce.org, or are there other kind of useful links to bear in mind too?
Um, So yes, so our website is shirtforce.org, and from there you can browse our designs and make your own purchasing decisions based on currently available products, not future available ones, to coin a phrase. Um, but Yes, if you're out there and you perhaps have a design, we do have a contact form on our website. I can be, or you can reach out to one of us on the social media channels. I'm, I'm on most channels as at Salesforce Will, um, and by all means. I mean, if you're not sure how to get in touch with us, someone will. And yes, we're open to listening to all sorts of designs, and design briefs and ideas that people have. After all, we're here for the community, and we want the community to know that they can they can get in touch if they want.
Mm, awesome. And I guess if you're looking for some inspiration, there's lots of great designs on the website. And also I've just had a little look. You have a blog up as well, which shows the plushies with their tees. You've got an Appy and an Astro wearing their little troublemaker tees, which I think is really cute. and helps the community too. So I think that's great. And yeah, look forward to seeing what the future holds and how Shirtforce evolves to beyond, I guess, more than just shirts. So yeah, thanks again for your time today. Yeah,
Thank you, Tom, and thanks for those who participated and watched. Thanks to the audience.
awesome.